Welcome to the 2015-16 school year and this admin nuts and bolts presentation. For safety and security in the building, please ensure that your classroom doors are locked and closed while teaching or with students. Please ensure that your doors are closed at all times and that you turn off lights when leaving a room to preserve energy efficiency in the building. Please make sure that you wear your school badge and have your keys on you at all times. We will conduct different drills throughout the month, so please refer to your Crisis Procedures Manual on what to do for each of these different drills. Our Building Emergency Management team will meet once a quarter to discuss and debrief and try to optimize our performance. If you are at school after hours or on the weekend and you see a non-staff adult, please send me an immediate email or text. If this occurs during school hours and that adult does not have on one of our orange and black visitor badges, an Apple visitor sticker, or a Watchdog Dad sticker, please personally escort them immediately to the office. Some important procedures include being punctual to all of your duties and responsibilities, which include before and after school duties, drop off and pick up at lunch, drop off and pick up at each exploratory class, recess times, and also your personal attendance at staff meetings between 8 and 8:30 a.m. For special occasions such as field trips or if you have visiting guests, etc., we've created a new special occasions form in OneNote to ensure that you have covered all of your bases in communicating with all of the players at school. While this is not a required form, it might help to make sure that nothing falls through the cracks. Debbie has requested to receive a paper copy of the bus request form at least 2 weeks in advance for any field trip or event requiring the bus. As always, please invite me to special events or moments that occur in your classroom so that I can take pictures and help to celebrate. For recess and walkie-talkies, the same procedures will occur this year that happened last year. You will take the recess bag and the walkie out and then test the walkie by alerting the office that your grade level is out to recess. Please be sure that teachers stand in different locations on the playground for full supervision purposes. Curricular materials this year should have requests directed to Debbie Hallier instead of Kelly. And staff parking this year is the same as last, which means that we need to park in the west front lot and then toward the middle of the building if you park in the back lot. For attendance, none of the attendance procedures for certified staff have changed this school year compared to last within the negotiated agreement. Each staff member gets 12 days, and throughout the year there are blackout days, which are blackout days only for personal reasons if you know in advance you're going to be gone, and not for medically related absences. These you would need to fill out the request form, which is found in OneNote, and prior building and district level approval are required in order to be absent with pay on these days. For the first 8 of 12 absences each year, a certified staff member can code this any way they need to in Skyward. However, on day 9 of absences, they would need to choose between short-term leave, which are any accumulated days of sick leave from past years, and protected discretionary days, which are the 4 days that may be used at any time. For attendance, remember if you're going to be gone during the contract day to sign in and then out again of the building at the time you leave and come back. This will require 2 separate visits to the office and applies to all staff members. Classified staff, if you are requesting your leave in advance, please type in who is taking your before or after school duty and lunch duty if it applies on the days you are absent within a description text box in Skyward. Once this is done and you submit your request, I will be able to consider it. Certified staff members, if you have a special need to leave the building during your contract time, please send me an email including communication about who will cover your responsibilities in your absence. For communication, as the administrator, I try to send out a Sunday news and notes every week, and while I try to keep this as complete as possible to alert you and prepare you for the week, please double check me and do not use this as your only means of awareness for building activities, times, and dates. For parent communication this year, a minimum of once a month, some form of whole class parent communication should occur. An example would be a newsletter, an email, or a blog. And this can be done by a teacher individually or by a grade level. Items to include in this communication would be to start with something positive going on in your classroom or grade, and also include curricular topics you are working on and upcoming school and PTA events. Grades 3 through 5 would also want to include something related to assessment or grade card blurb and tips for study successful habits. Remember, parents like to see pictures as well. Items also need to be made available to parents with grade level consistency, such as study guides and answer keys for parents, online access to materials such as Envision or Blackboard, etc. Also, make sure that you're promoting and modeling positivity and professionalism at Riverview with your parents, students, staff, and within the district. You might consider incorporating our Hollywood theme this year in your classroom or with parents and students. For social media, the district supports the use of Twitter, but not of creating classroom or building Facebook accounts. If you choose to have or create a Twitter account, please let me know and determine whether or not you would want me to retweet those on our building level Twitter feed. Remember, before you tweet out any pictures of students, make sure that you've checked with Debbie that their parents have given permission for their pictures to be used. These students who cannot be used cannot even have their pictures appear in background of other pictures. As always, never tweet out anything with the student's name or identifying information on it. And I really do encourage you to take pictures of your classroom activities or of students working and email or text them to me so that I can post them to our building Twitter feed. I get very positive feedback from parents on our social media. For the budget, Debbie has placed the instructions on how to place a Skyward requisition order, which is available under Riverview Docs on our 1516 OneNote. If you choose to go to any funding sites or receive any gifts for you or for your classroom or to the building, please know that all donations received via a funding site such as DonorChoose or GoFundMe, etc. must be advertised, and materials purchased from this type of building funding must be advertised that they will be donated to the building or the district by the teacher. Individual donations to a site, a teacher, classroom, or a building, as long as they are $99 and under, are appropriate and not reportable to the Board of Education. However, any gifts or donations to an online site totaling more than $99 require prior approval from the superintendent and the Board of Education. The PTA ETC funds, building budget amounts, and any additional funding amounts will be communicated in the near future. Please note a change from last year in that the ETC funds form is now to be found online on OneNote, and please complete it and turn it into me first instead of Debbie. For collaboration at a grade level is very important for student success. For PLCs, they will occur weekly and they are outlined on the master calendar with no more than 26 PLCs to be held throughout the year. You are going to be working on a long-range planning document, and please email me when you feel like you have completed and gone through the activity and that your PLCs throughout the year are fairly well planned out. Ensure that your PLC agenda is finalized by Monday so that any additional staff members can go in and see what's going on to be prepared for that meeting, such as ELL specialist or the special education teacher. For your team plan, please follow the pacing guide set forth by the district, or if your team would like to deviate from the pacing guides, then please inform me of this in advance. Minimum commonalities to be included in your team plans include your ELA and math standards, science and social studies essential questions, assessments for your end of unit or topic tests, and goal work that we've previously done as a building, such as your Kagan and SIOP components should still be reflected in your team plan notes. Please be sure to place your team plans in OneNote under a team plan tab, or simply email them weekly to administrative and the DR staff. It would also probably be wise to ask XPLO teachers if they would like to be included on your plans. Finally, please be sure that you alert our ELL specialist to your team plan time so that they can build their schedules on being able to attend a portion each week. We will continue to have our 3 committees this year to focus on our 2 building goals in staff and student climate, and I've included that information in this PowerPoint for reference. This information can also be found on OneNote in our Riverview 1516 notebook under the Committees tab. If you look within the Riverview 1516 OneNote notebook, you'll find a Riverview Docs tab, and in that it includes many of the documents that I've referenced throughout this presentation as well as previously emailed you, such as our master calendar for the year, the overall building schedule, the district calendar, our A through E day calendar, the Explo schedule, the discretionary leave request form to be used on any of those blackout days, as well as the PTA ETC purchases form to be used. If there are other documents that you think could be helpful to include here, please email me and I will include them on the notebook. Finally, a few miscellaneous items. Dress for this year remains professional unless otherwise specified. Instead of doing jeans days on cold days throughout the year, which were somewhat unpredictable and difficult to determine, we are going to try something different. On Mondays this year, I will allow you to wear this year's staff shirt, so either of the two, and jeans. And then on Friday, you can wear jeans and any appropriate top. The carpet expectations this year are to have no wax in the building, which includes Scentsies. However, if there's any spill involving a liquid, please alert the office immediately. And if you remember, please follow up with an email to Mary or Rick. And finally, please note that Kelly's availability time at Riverview are as follows, but you can always get a hold of her through email or through her one phone extension of 4104, which rings in both buildings. Thank you so much, and I am looking forward to a wonderful 15-16 school year. As always, email me or come see me if you have any questions or concerns now or throughout the year. Thank you so much, and have a great week.